part 2 of finishing out the interior of a shop. We're going to cover how we finished out underneath and the garage doors. We'll go through all the different trims, pieces we used. We'll go through cost. But first, don't forget we have a Patreon. If you guys are interested in self-building, each month we talk about a different topic. You're able to ask questions, so check that out. Leave a link right in the screen right now. Also, if you're interested in designing your own post frame home, email us at design@MrPostFrame. We can also help you out with that. But let's jump into the show. Jake and I are running this wall of steel this morning. What we started doing is measuring over, putting our 36-inch mark on, and then putting the laser on it. And it's just making it a lot easier to line up our sheets going across, a lot less thinking. All right, so now Jake and I make sure we're in the exact same spot. We use this crease as a bearing point, and then we know we're running nice and straight all the way up. I'm on the crease. You're right on the crease? Yep. Perfect. $0.40 on the ground. guys, that's gonna be a wrap on the shop. You can see we got the whole thing finished and it looks really good. So if you guys have any questions on this, just ask, we'll do our best to answer them. But I'm gonna kind of go through kind of what we did here, and then hopefully that'll answer a lot of your questions. So I guess we'll just start at the ground. We have a square base. Basically how I start out that, because concrete's never gonna be perfectly level throughout the whole place, I'll go around, shoot grade. I'll find the highest spot and the lowest spot, and then that's how I'll make my determination where my trim goes. I choose the highest spot, and then that way that will all be level around the entire building. Then we have an interior panel. It's the same as an exterior panel, it just doesn't have the UV protection on it. You don't need it. It's rib metal. That goes all the way up to the ceiling, where we have an FJ, which is a 1-inch FJ, which means it'll accept the rib steel on the top and on the bottom. We finished out all the corners with outside corner trim. Around all the doors are J trimmed, and then on the inside corners is an inside corner. Pretty straightforward. See, we've got an inside corner here. It's a nice clean look. Client's gonna paint all the doors, paint all the trim. This will get trimmed out with wood and can either get wrapped with color match steel or aluminum, or you can paint it, whatever the case may be. Same thing with the windows. But the big details when you're finishing out a shop is usually above these garage doors. I personally hate big flat piece of metal up there, so what we did, and I showed you in the first video, we just ran flat steel all the way up. We have J trim on this side to accept our steel, and then we have J trim on this side to accept our steel once the spring and all of the brackets and all that are put in. Then we just fill this in with steel, lining our ribs up with the ceiling, and it makes a nice clean finished look. These garage doors over here are the same right there. That one is a taller door, so it goes up and then comes down the ceiling, so we only had to put steel above. But you can see how nice a finish that is. You don't get the oil canning. Had a couple people ask what oil canning is. Oil canning is an inherent quality of cold rolled steel. Whenever you put a screw into it, it'll create a little dimple. It's just part of using steel. The darker colors, it's more apparent. Lighter colors, it's less apparent. When you use flat stock, it's very difficult to get a nice, flat, smooth finish over that big of an area. That's why I like to use the ribbed metal, and that's the purpose of ribbed metal, is so it takes the imperfections of that steel out. It creates strength and rigidity, and it's just real nice. The ceiling, our trusses are 8 foot on center. This metal is rated to span 9 feet. This spans 8 feet. So what we do is we'll get usually 16-foot 4-inch panels. That way it can extend 2 inches past each end truss. That way you get a 2-inch overlap. And then we put screws on each side of the rib all the way across. And that's strong enough to hold, up to an R60 blow-in insulation. Nothing else is ever going to be up there, so you shouldn't ever have a problem with that. Now, one thing I wanted to add to this is the cost of finishing out a shop like this, which we will put on the screen right now. Steel fluctuates, but I know a lot of you guys are going to want to know, hey, what does it cost to finish out a shop like this? This is a 56 by 56 shop with 19-foot sidewalls. So we'll break it down on the screen right now for you per square foot for materials and labor. Hopefully this helps you guys determining what you want to do. I think this is a really nice thing to do inside a shop because 1, it brightens it up. 2, you can come through and spray all this down and wash it, it just makes it a real nice finish. So as always, we appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you on the next video.